1. Stakeholder engagement. Michael is managing a large infrastructure project for urban infra. A key stakeholder, the local government, is not responding to project updates and has shown little interest in attending meetings. What should Michael do to improve stakeholder engagement? A. Escalate the issue to senior management. B. Remove the stakeholder from the communication plan. C. Develop a strategy to engage the stakeholder based on their needs. D. Continue sending emails and hope for a response. Answer: C. Develop a strategy to engage the stakeholder based on their needs. Explanation: Stakeholders have different levels of interest and influence, and it's the project manager's responsibility to analyze and address their concerns effectively. A tailored engagement strategy will increase their involvement. 2. Managing a remote project team. Sophia is managing a software development project for CodeWave. Her team is distributed across multiple time zones, making collaboration challenging. What is the best approach to improve team performance? A. Require all team members to work during Sophia's time zone. B. Use asynchronous communication methods and flexible work schedules. C. Reduce the number of meetings to avoid time conflicts. D. Assign all critical tasks to team members in the same time zone as Sophia. Answer: B. Use asynchronous communication methods and flexible work schedules. Explanation: Managing a distributed team requires effective communication strategies that accommodate different time zones, ensuring inclusivity and productivity. 3. Agile team leadership. Aiden is a Scrum Master at AgileX. His development team is struggling with daily stand-up meetings, often exceeding the 15-minute time box. What should Aiden do? A. Enforce strict timing and cut off discussions. B. Encourage the team to discuss issues after the stand-up. C. Reduce the frequency of stand-ups to twice a week. D. Skip stand-ups until the team can manage discussions better. Answer: B. Encourage the team to discuss issues after the stand-up. Explanation: Stand-ups should be time-boxed to 15 minutes, with additional discussions happening separately to maintain productivity. 4. Regulatory compliance in projects. David is leading a pharmaceutical project at MedTech. The project must comply with strict FDA regulations. Midway through execution, a regulatory change is introduced. What should David do first? A. Ignore the change since the project started before the regulation update. B. Stop all project work and reassess the feasibility. C. Analyze the impact of the regulatory change on project scope, cost, and timeline. D. Proceed with the project and address compliance issues later. Answer: C. Analyze the impact of the regulatory change on project scope, cost, and timeline. Explanation: Regulatory changes can significantly impact projects, and a thorough impact assessment is necessary to determine necessary adjustments. 5. Stakeholder conflict resolution. Raj is managing a new retail expansion project at TrendyMart. Two key stakeholders, the marketing director and the operations manager, have conflicting requirements. What is the best approach for Raj? A. Make a decision based on his judgment and inform stakeholders later. B. Facilitate a discussion between both stakeholders to reach a consensus. C. Escalate the conflict to the project sponsor. D. Prioritize the marketing director's needs since the project is about business growth. Answer: B. Facilitate a discussion between both stakeholders to reach a consensus. Explanation: conflicting stakeholder interests should be managed through effective communication and negotiation rather than unilateral decisions. 6. Leadership style in Agile projects. Emma is leading a Scrum team at Softworks. The team members frequently seek her approval before making decisions. How should Emma respond? A. Encourage self-organization and empower the team to make decisions. B. Continue making decisions to ensure consistency. C. Escalate to senior management for guidance. D. Implement a rigid approval process to maintain control. Answer: A. Encourage self-organization and empower the team to make decisions. Explanation: Agile teams thrive on self-organization, which fosters innovation and accountability. A servant leadership approach is essential. 7. Changing scope in an Agile environment. Lucas is a product owner at CloudNet. A key customer requests a significant feature change in the middle of an iteration. What should Lucas do? A. Accept the change immediately and adjust the sprint backlog. B. Ask the customer to wait until the next release. C. Discuss the change with the team and prioritize it for the next sprint. D. Reject the change since the sprint scope is fixed. Answer: C. Discuss the change with the team and prioritize it for the next sprint. Explanation: Agile teams work in time-boxed iterations, and major scope changes should be addressed in backlog refinement before the next sprint. 8. Managing stakeholder expectations. Liam is managing a government IT project at GovTech. A senior executive insists on weekly progress reports, which are not part of the agreed communication plan. What should Liam do? A. Decline the request since it was not initially planned. B. Escalate the request to the project sponsor. C. Assess the impact and adjust the communication plan accordingly. D. Ignore the request to avoid extra workload. Answer: C. Assess the impact and adjust the communication plan accordingly. Explanation: Stakeholder communication needs may evolve, and project managers must adapt to maintain engagement. 9. Agile team training needs. Olivia is leading an Agile transformation at BuildTech. Her team lacks experience with Agile methodologies. What is the best approach? A. Provide Agile training and mentorship before transitioning. B. Force the team to adopt Agile immediately without training. C. Replace team members with experienced Agile professionals. D. Let the team figure it out as they work. Answer: A. Provide Agile training and mentorship before transitioning. Explanation: Agile adoption requires training and cultural shifts to ensure successful implementation. 10. Stakeholder prioritization in a project. Ethan is managing a product launch at Innovate Now. He identifies over 20 stakeholders with different levels of influence and interest. What should he do first? A. Engage all stakeholders equally. B. Focus only on high-influence stakeholders. C. Perform stakeholder analysis to categorize engagement needs. D. Ignore stakeholders who are not directly involved in execution. Answer: C. Perform stakeholder analysis to categorize engagement needs. Explanation: Not all stakeholders require the same level of engagement. Analysis helps prioritize efforts. 11. Managing scope creep in Agile. Sophia is leading a website redesign project at Webflow. Mid-sprint, the client requests multiple design changes. What is the best approach? A. Accept all changes and adjust the sprint scope. B. Review and prioritize changes for the next iteration. C. Refuse the changes and proceed with the original sprint plan. D. Escalate the issue to the project sponsor. Answer. B. Review and prioritize changes for the next iteration. Explanation. In Agile, mid-sprint scope changes should be evaluated and planned for future iterations, rather than disrupting the current sprint. 12. Motivating a low-performing Agile team. James is managing a struggling Agile team at Brightsoft. The team lacks motivation and productivity is low. What leadership approach should James take? A. Implement strict deadlines and penalize low performers. B. Conduct team-building exercises and recognize achievements. C. Replace underperforming team members. D. Reduce the workload to minimize stress. Answer. B. Conduct team-building exercises and recognize achievements. Explanation. Agile teams thrive in collaborative environments with recognition and intrinsic motivation. 13. Stakeholder influence on project decisions. Daniel is managing a new logistics project at Fast Track. A key stakeholder, the operations director, strongly opposes a proposed solution. What should Daniel do? A. Ignore the stakeholder and proceed with the planned solution. B. Engage the stakeholder to understand concerns and find a compromise. C. Escalate the issue to senior management. D. Remove the stakeholder from the project. Answer. B. Engage the stakeholder to understand concerns and find a compromise. Explanation. Stakeholders should be engaged in decision-making to ensure alignment and support. 14. Handling a regulatory delay. Maria is leading a construction project at Greenbuild. A new environmental regulation delays project approval. What should Maria do first? A. Ignore the delay and proceed with construction. B. Assess the impact of the regulation on project scope and schedule. C. Escalate the issue to legal authorities. D. Cancel the project due to compliance risks. Answer. B. Assess the impact of the regulation on project scope and schedule. Explanation. Regulatory changes must be assessed for impact before modifying the project plan. 15. Agile approach to schedule estimation. Jack is a Scrum Master at DevOps Pro. His team struggles with estimating story points accurately. What should Jack do? A. Provide detailed estimates himself. B. Use relative estimation techniques like planning poker. C. Require developers to submit time-based estimates. D. Reduce backlog items to simplify estimation. Answer. B. Use relative estimation techniques like planning poker. Explanation. Agile teams use relative estimation methods to improve accuracy and team collaboration. 16. Selecting the right team for a project. David is assigned to lead a project at Tech Fusion that requires expertise in machine learning. How should he form his team? A. Select employees based on availability rather than expertise. B. Choose a mix of experienced professionals and trainees to ensure knowledge transfer. C. Assign the project to existing team members regardless of their skill set. D. Hire only external consultants to minimize risk. Answer: B. Choose a mix of experienced professionals and trainees to ensure knowledge transfer. Explanation: A balanced team ensures skill availability while fostering internal capability development. 17. Managing cross-regional teams. Anna is leading a software development project at Global Tech with team members in different time zones. What is the best approach to collaboration? A. Schedule all meetings in the headquarters time zone. B. Implement asynchronous communication and flexible meeting schedules. C. Require all team members to adjust to the project manager's time zone. D. Use email as the primary form of communication. Answer: B. Implement asynchronous communication and flexible meeting schedules. Explanation: Cross-regional teams require flexible communication to accommodate different working hours. 18. Addressing resistance to Agile adoption. Tom is leading Agile adoption at Softwave. Some team members resist the change, preferring traditional waterfall methods. What should Tom do? A. Force Agile practices immediately without discussion. B. Provide training and highlight Agile benefits. C. Remove resistant team members from the project. D. Ignore resistance and continue with Agile rollout. Answer: B. Provide training and highlight Agile benefits. Explanation: Change management involves addressing concerns and ensuring proper training. 19. Managing a high-influence, low-interest stakeholder. Samantha is managing a retail expansion project at Shopee. The CEO has high influence but low interest in daily operations. How should Samantha engage this stakeholder? A. Keep the CEO informed with high-level updates. B. Involve the CEO in detailed project meetings. C. Ignore the CEO since they have low interest. D. Assign daily project reports to the CEO. Answer: A. Keep the CEO informed with high-level updates. Explanation: High-influence, low-interest stakeholders require strategic engagement through concise updates. 20. Handling a regulatory compliance issue. Mark is managing a pharmaceutical project at Biogen. A new law requires additional product testing, delaying launch. What should Mark do? A. Ignore the regulation and proceed with the launch. B. Update the risk register and adjust the project timeline. C. Escalate the issue to government authorities. D. Continue development without addressing the compliance risk. Answer: B. Update the risk register and adjust the project timeline. Explanation: Regulatory changes should be incorporated into risk management and scheduling. 21. Agile team decision-making. Robert's Agile team at Cloud Sprint is debating whether to extend a sprint to complete a critical feature. What should Robert do? A. Allow the sprint extension to complete the feature. B. Maintain the sprint time box and move the feature to the next sprint. C. Let the client decide whether to extend the sprint. D. Ignore Agile principles and complete the feature regardless of the time box. Answer: B. Maintain the sprint time box and move the feature to the next sprint. Explanation: Agile methodologies maintain fixed sprint durations and prioritize backlog management. 22. Handling conflicts in a remote Agile team. Maria is managing a distributed Agile team at Finsoft. Two senior developers disagree on implementation strategy, causing delays. What should Maria do? A. Escalate the issue to the company CEO. B. Facilitate a team discussion to reach a consensus. C. Remove one of the developers from the team. D. Allow the developers to resolve the issue on their own. Answer: B. Facilitate a team discussion to reach a consensus. Explanation: Agile promotes collaboration and open communication to resolve conflicts constructively. 23. Adapting to a changing market condition. Lisa is managing a product launch at TechTrend. Midway through development, a competitor releases a similar product. What should Lisa do? A. Cancel the project immediately. B. Analyze market trends and adjust the project accordingly. C. Continue without any modifications. D. Extend the schedule to rethink the entire product. Answer: B. Analyze market trends and adjust the project accordingly. Explanation: Projects must be adaptable to market changes and stakeholder expectations. 24. Managing a stakeholder who wants unrealistic features. John is managing an e-commerce project at ShopLink. A senior executive insists on adding features that exceed the budget. What should John do? A. Agree to the request without evaluating its impact. B. Perform a cost-benefit analysis and discuss trade-offs. C. Immediately reject the request. D. Delay the project to accommodate the features. Answer: B. Perform a cost-benefit analysis and discuss trade-offs. Explanation: Stakeholder requests should be evaluated for feasibility before approval. 25. Resolving a performance issue in a team. Michael notices that a key developer on his team at Softcode is missing deadlines. What should Michael do first? A. Fire the developer immediately. B. Provide feedback and coaching to improve performance. C. Ignore the issue since others are completing tasks. D. Assign the developer to a different project. Answer: B. Provide feedback and coaching to improve performance. Explanation: Performance issues should be addressed through coaching and support before drastic measures. 26. Managing scope change in Agile. Sarah's Agile team at InnovateX receives a new feature request from a major stakeholder mid-sprint. What should she do? A. Accept the change immediately and implement it. B. Add it to the backlog and prioritize it in future sprints. C. Ignore the request until the next sprint review. D. Extend the sprint to include the feature. Answer: B. Add it to the backlog and prioritize it in future sprints. Explanation: Agile prioritizes backlog refinement and iteration over scope changes mid-sprint. 27. Dealing with a low morale team. Nathan is managing a project at SmartTech, but his team is demotivated due to unclear goals. What should he do? A. Set clear objectives and provide motivation. B. Ignore morale issues and push for faster delivery. C. Fire underperforming team members. D. Extend deadlines to ease pressure. Answer: A. Set clear objectives and provide motivation. Explanation: clear goals and motivation improve team morale and productivity. 28. Managing a key stakeholder's resistance to change. Daniel is leading a system upgrade project at DataCore. A senior stakeholder is resistant to the change, fearing disruption to operations. What should Daniel do? A. Ignore the stakeholder and proceed with implementation. B. Conduct stakeholder engagement meetings to address concerns. C. Remove the stakeholder from the decision-making process. D. Delay the project until the stakeholder agrees. Answer: B. Conduct stakeholder engagement meetings to address concerns. Explanation: engaging resistant stakeholders through communication and involvement increases their buy-in. 29. Handling a cultural conflict in a global project team. Emma is managing a project at Global Tech with team members from multiple countries. Conflicts arise due to cultural misunderstandings. What should she do? A. Encourage open communication and cultural sensitivity training. B. Assign team members from the same culture to work together. C. Ignore cultural differences and enforce uniform processes. D. Replace team members who do not adapt. Answer: A. Encourage open communication and cultural sensitivity training. Explanation: cultural awareness and communication reduce misunderstandings in diverse teams. 30. Handling a schedule delay in an Agile project. Richard's Agile team at Softcom is behind schedule due to unforeseen technical issues. What should he do? A. Increase work hours and push the team harder. B. Review the backlog and adjust priorities for the next sprint. C. Request more resources to accelerate development. D. Extend the sprint to complete all planned tasks. Answer: B. Review the backlog and adjust priorities for the next sprint. Explanation: Agile teams adjust priorities based on changing circumstances rather than rigid schedules. 31. Dealing with a last-minute regulatory change. Sophia is managing a healthcare project at MedSys when a new regulation requires additional compliance steps. What should she do first? A. Assess the impact of the change on the project. B. Inform the sponsor that the deadline cannot be met. C. Continue as planned and address the change later. D. Request a change in project scope to accommodate compliance. Answer: A. Assess the impact of the change on the project. Explanation: regulatory changes must be assessed for impact before deciding how to proceed. 32. Managing a project with a hybrid approach. Tom is managing a software development project at DevSync using a hybrid methodology. A sponsor requests a major change in the final phase. What should Tom do? A. Evaluate the impact and integrate changes iteratively. B. Reject the change as the final phase is already planned. C. Switch entirely to Agile to accommodate changes. D. Implement the change without assessing its impact. Answer: A. Evaluate the impact and integrate changes iteratively. Explanation: hybrid methodologies allow for structured planning with iterative flexibility. 33. Resolving a conflict between two senior team members. Jacob is leading a high-priority project at AlphaTech when two senior engineers disagree on a technical approach. What should Jacob do? A. Mediate the discussion and find a consensus-based solution. B. Choose the approach that aligns with his personal opinion. C. Remove one of the engineers from the project. D. Escalate the conflict to senior management. Answer: A. Mediate the discussion and find a consensus-based solution. Explanation: Effective conflict resolution involves facilitating discussions and aligning the team toward a common goal. 34. Managing unclear roles in a cross-functional team. Jessica is leading a digital transformation project at CloudSync, but her cross-functional team lacks clarity on responsibilities. What should she do? A. Develop a RACI matrix to clarify roles. B. Allow the team to self-organize without structure. C. Assign tasks randomly to different team members. D. Let the team figure out responsibilities on their own. Answer: A. Develop a RACI matrix to clarify roles. Explanation: The RACI matrix defines responsibilities, ensuring clarity and accountability. 35. Addressing resistance to Agile adoption. Ethan is leading Agile adoption at CodeHub, but some senior employees resist the change. What should he do? A. Educate the team on Agile benefits and involve them in decision-making. B. Force the adoption without discussions. C. Replace employees who resist Agile. D. Ignore resistance and focus only on new team members. Answer: A. Educate the team on Agile benefits and involve them in decision-making. Explanation: Successful Agile transformation involves stakeholder buy-in and training. 1. A key stakeholder requests a new feature mid-sprint. What should the project manager do? A. Accept the change to satisfy the stakeholder. B. Evaluate the impact on scope, schedule, and budget. C. Implement the change immediately to maintain agility. D. Reject the request since the scope is fixed. Answer: B. Evaluate the impact on scope, schedule, and budget. Explanation: Scope changes should be formally assessed for their impact before approval. 2. What document defines the project scope, objectives, and deliverables? A. Scope Management Plan. B. Work Breakdown Structure, WBS. C. Project Charter. D. Requirements, Traceability Matrix. Answer: C. Project Charter. Explanation: The project charter formally authorizes the project and defines high-level scope. 3. A project team identifies that a deliverable is missing a required feature. What should the project manager do next? A. Implement the missing feature immediately. B. Review the requirements documentation. C. Submit a change request. D. Update the WBS without approval. Answer: B. Review the requirements documentation. Explanation: The first step is to verify if the requirement was documented before making any changes. 4. What is the primary purpose of a work breakdown structure, WBS? A. To sequence project activities. B. To define project scope in a hierarchical format. C. To assign costs to each work package. D. To document stakeholder requirements. Answer B. To define project scope in a hierarchical format. Explanation. The WBS breaks down project work into manageable components. 5. Who is responsible for defining project acceptance criteria? A. The project manager. B. The sponsor. C. The stakeholders. D. The quality manager. Answer. C. The stakeholders. Explanation. Stakeholders provide requirements, including acceptance criteria. 6. A project team is using control charts to monitor a process. What are they measuring? A. Process stability. B. Team productivity. C. Customer satisfaction. D. Scope creep. Answer. A. Process stability. Explanation. Control charts track process variation and help identify when corrective actions are needed. 7. The project sponsor wants to cut costs by reducing testing. What should the project manager do? A. Accept the request and reduce testing. B. Perform a risk analysis to assess the impact. C. Escalate the issue to senior management. D. Ignore the request since testing is a standard process. Answer. B. Perform a risk analysis to assess the impact. Explanation. Reducing testing increases risk. A risk analysis should be done before making a decision. 8. What tool is used in quality management to determine the most frequent causes of defects? A. Pareto chart. B. Fishbone diagram. C. Control chart. D. Scatter diagram. Answer A. Pareto chart. Explanation. Pareto charts help identify the most common causes of quality issues. 9. A project has a high defect rate. What should the project manager do first? A. Increase testing efforts. B. Conduct a root cause analysis. C. Request additional funding. D. Accept the defects as normal. Answer. B. Conduct a root cause analysis. Explanation. Identifying the cause of defects helps in developing an effective solution. 10. What quality management approach focuses on continuous process improvement? A. Six Sigma. B. Just-in-time. JIT. C. Total quality management. TQM. D. Cost of quality. COQ. Answer C. Total Quality Management, TQM. Explanation. TQM emphasizes ongoing quality improvement across all processes. 11. What type of contract places the most risk on the seller? A. Fixed price contract. B. Cost plus contract. C. Time and materials contract. D. Cost reimbursable contract. Answer A. Fixed price contract. Explanation. Sellers assume the risk in fixed price contracts as they must deliver within the agreed amount. 12. What procurement document invites sellers to provide price quotes? A. Request for proposal, RFP. B. Request for quotation, RFQ. C. Statement of work, SOW. D. Contract change request. Answer: B. Request for quotation, IRFQ. Explanation: RFQs request price information for goods and services. 13. Emily, a project manager, is managing a construction project. The vendor responsible for supplying materials has consistently delivered late, causing schedule delays. What should Emily do first? A. Terminate the vendor's contract and find a new supplier. B. Review the contract's terms and conditions to determine possible penalties or solutions. C. Accept the delays and extend the project timeline. D. Increase the project budget to account for expedited shipping. Answer: B. Review the contract's terms and conditions to determine possible penalties or solutions. Explanation: Before making a decision, the project manager should review contractual obligations to determine available remedies. 14. Carlos is managing a software project and his company has outsourced development to an external vendor. During testing, the team discovers major defects that were not addressed in the original contract. What should Carlos do? A. Accept the defects since they were not in the contract. B. Request a contract amendment and negotiate additional work. C. File a formal complaint with the vendor's legal team. D. Terminate the contract immediately. Answer: B. Request a contract amendment and negotiate additional work. Explanation: When scope changes or issues arise, a contract amendment may be required to address additional work. 15. Priya, a procurement manager, is reviewing bids from different vendors for a complex engineering project. One vendor has submitted a significantly lower bid than others. What should she do? A. Select the lowest bid to reduce project costs. B. Investigate the vendor's pricing structure for feasibility. C. Immediately reject the vendor's bid due to suspiciously low pricing. D. Award the contract based on past experience rather than price. Answer: B. Investigate the vendor's pricing structure for feasibility. Explanation: A price that is too low may indicate potential risks such as hidden costs, poor quality, or unrealistic expectations. 16. Michael, a project manager for a manufacturing firm, is negotiating a contract with a vendor for raw materials. The vendor insists on a cost-plus contract, while Michael prefers a fixed-price contract. What should Michael consider before making a decision? A. The risk allocation between buyer and seller. B. The vendor's request since they have industry experience. C. The need to avoid procurement contracts altogether. D. The ability to control the seller's profits. Answer A. The risk allocation between buyer and seller. Explanation: Fixed-price contracts place risk on the seller, while cost-plus contracts place risk on the buyer. 17. A project team led by David is reviewing a procurement statement of work, SOW, for a new supplier. Which of the following should be included in the SOW? A. The expected number of project stakeholders. B. The supplier's internal company policies. C. Specific deliverables, performance requirements, and acceptance criteria. D. The project team's salary structure. Answer. C. Specific deliverables, performance requirements, and acceptance criteria. Explanation. A well-defined SOW ensures clarity in scope and expectations for the vendor. 18. Sophia is managing a highway expansion project. The project's earned value, EV, is $120,000, while the actual cost, AC, is $150,000. What does this indicate? A. The project is over budget. B. The project is under budget. C. The project is ahead of schedule. D. The project is at break-even. Answer. A. The project is over budget. Explanation. The Cost Performance Index, CPI, equals EV divide AC equals 0.8, which is less than 1, indicating a cost overrun. 19. Alex, a project manager, finds that his project's Schedule Performance Index, SPI, is 0.85. What does this tell him? A. The project is ahead of schedule. B. The project is behind schedule. C. The project is over budget. D. The project is within the planned scope. Answer. B. The project is behind schedule. Explanation. SPI equals EV divide PV, and SPI below 1 indicates the project is progressing slower than planned. 20. Janet is reviewing EVM reports and finds that her project has a cost variance, CV, of $5,000. What does this mean? A. The project is under budget. B. The project is over budget. C. The project has an undefined budget variance. D. The project needs immediate corrective action. Answer. A. The project is under budget. Explanation. CV equals EV minus AC. A positive value indicates the project has spent less than planned. 21. Liam, a project manager for a construction project, is forecasting costs. The estimate at completion, EAC formula he should use when he expects current variances to continue is A. EAC equals BAC divide CPI. B. EAC equals AC plus bottom-up ETC. C. EAC equals BAC plus ETC. D. EAC equals AC plus BAC minus EV. Divide CPI multiply SPI. Answer. A. EAC equals BAC divide CPI. Explanation. This formula is used when current cost performance trends are expected to continue. 22. A project led by Olivia has a Cost Performance Index, CPI, of 1.2 and a Schedule Performance Index, SPI, of 0.95. What does this indicate? A. The project is over budget but ahead of schedule. B. The project is under budget but slightly behind schedule. C. The project is performing poorly overall. D. The project's performance is neutral. Answer. B. The project is under budget but slightly behind schedule. Explanation. CPI greater than 1 means the project is under budget, while SPI less than 1 means it is slightly behind schedule. 23. Which 3 elements must be included in a well-defined project scope statement? Select 2 correct answers. A. Project exclusions. B. Detailed cost estimates. C. Deliverables. D. Business case. Answer. A. Project exclusions. C. Deliverables. Explanation. A project scope statement defines what is included and excluded, along with key deliverables and acceptance criteria. Cost estimates and business case details are found in other documents. 24. In the validate scope process, which 3 activities are essential for verifying deliverables? Select 3 correct answers. A. Inspecting the deliverables. B. Approving changes to scope baseline. C. Obtaining formal stakeholder acceptance. D. Comparing deliverables to requirements. Answer: A. Inspecting the deliverables. C. Obtaining formal stakeholder acceptance. D. Comparing deliverables to requirements. Explanation: the validate scope process ensures that the final deliverables meet requirements and are formally accepted. Changes and scheduling adjustments are separate processes. 25. A project manager wants to improve quality by using prevention over inspection. Which 3 practices should they focus on? Select 2 correct answers. A. Training the team on best practices. B. Implementing quality audits. C. Using statistical sampling. D. Performing root cause analysis. Answer: A. Training the team on best practices. D. Performing root cause analysis. Explanation: prevention-based quality management reduces defects by designing quality into processes rather than relying on inspection and correction. 26. Which 3 tools are commonly used in quality control to analyze defects and process inefficiencies? Select 3 correct answers. A. Pareto charts. B. Scatter diagrams. C. Control charts. D. Monte Carlo simulation. Answer: A. Pareto charts. B. Scatter diagrams. C. Control charts. Explanation: Pareto charts help prioritize issues, scatter diagrams identify relationships between variables, and control charts monitor process stability. Monte Carlo and influence diagrams are used for risk analysis. 7. A company is negotiating a contract and wants to reduce financial risk. Which 3 contract types provide the highest level of cost predictability? Select 2 correct answers. A. Fixed price contracts. B. Cost plus contracts. C. Firm fixed price FFP contracts. D. Time and materials T&M contracts. Answer: A. Fixed price contracts. C. Firm fixed price FFP contracts. Explanation: fixed price contracts provide cost certainty, while cost plus and TM contracts shift cost risks to the buyer. 28. What are 3 key factors to consider when selecting a procurement strategy? Select 3 correct answers. A. Contract type. B. Seller's experience and capability. C. Stakeholder expectations. D. Internal team skill level. Answer: A. Contract type. B. Seller's experience and capability. C. Stakeholder expectations. Explanation: choosing the right procurement strategy involves evaluating contract types, supplier capabilities, and stakeholder needs. Internal skills and supplier count may influence strategy but are not primary drivers. 29. Which 3 key EVM metrics help a project manager determine project cost and schedule performance? Select 3 correct answers. A. Cost Performance Index, CPI. B. Schedule Performance Index, SPI. C. Payback period. D. Earned value, EV. Answer: A. Cost Performance Index, CPI. B. Schedule Performance Index, SPI. D. Earned Value, EV. Explanation: CPI measures cost efficiency, SPI measures schedule efficiency, and EV represents work completed in monetary value. Payback period and IRR are financial metrics, not EVM metrics. 30. A project manager is selecting a vendor for a large infrastructure project. What are 3 key criteria they should use in the selection process? Select 3 correct answers. A. Vendor's past performance on similar projects. B. Vendor's proposal cost compared to budget. C. Project sponsor's personal preference. D. Vendor's compliance with contractual requirements. Answer: A. Vendor's past performance on similar projects. B. Vendor's proposal cost compared to budget.